on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent start to your week. Bitcoin actually taking a little bit of a dip today while some of the altcoins are starting to rally. We actually saw Ethereum going totally parabolic yesterday following in Bitcoin's footsteps. You can see Bitcoin did in fact take a dip all the way down to $27,900. That dip instantly got bought back up, but should we be bearish? Was that the top? Well, we do know that yesterday was Bitcoin's 12th birthday. That was the Genesis block day, proof of keys day, and you can see it was on the front cover of Financial Times, which is a 132-year-old publication, so this was pretty incredible. Right now, what did Bitcoin decide to do on its birthday? Well, it gave us a gift instead, and that was the gift of a Bitcoin dip. However, the biggest question right now, is it time to be getting into altcoins? Should you be buying? Are altcoins going to outperform Bitcoin? We did see Bitcoin dominance start to fall. I'm going to have a look at that today, and we're going to decide decisively whether or not we should be looking at getting into altcoins right now. But I do want to talk about one thing about Bitcoin. There's been lots of crazy predictions talking about even Bitcoin hitting up to $1.2 million this year. Well, what I want to discuss specifically is something that a lot of people are ignoring, and this has nothing to do with the financial institutions that are buying. It doesn't matter about the micro strategies and all these big players. There's something else that could be happening behind the scenes, and we are seeing one potential example that could happen in the US, and if this does start to become the trend, my goodness, you thought a $1 million Bitcoin prediction was high. We could potentially go to somewhere upwards of $5 million per Bitcoin. Potentially, we're not going to get there just yet, but we could be on our way. And if that sounds good to you, don't forget today is Monday. We are giving away a Ledger Nano S. And without further ado, let's dive directly into the charts. Now, you can see right here, Bitcoin had an insane tumble from the top all the way down to the bottom of this wick. We actually put in a 20% dip. Now, we have spoken about these 20%, 30% dips for Bitcoin, right? So could this be the pullback that we were all waiting for? Is this the only thing that Bitcoin's going to be doing in these rallies? Are we not going to get these major crashes that we hang out for a week or so? Are these the dips that we're going to have to be trying to scramble to buy during the next bull run, during what is happening right now? Well, I want to talk about today why we are actually just in potentially the first inning of the first game of baseball. Wait, no, sorry, I screwed that up. Mike Novogratz, we'll get to him in a second. He actually said it's basically like we are on first base of the first inning of a game of baseball. But CME gap got filled, my friends, for all of my CME conspiracy theorists out there. We did have this crazy gap right here between 29,000 all the way up to 32. We did, in fact, wick down to fill that gap. Does this mean that the gaps do have to get filled? Well, we do have a giant one down here between 23 all the way up to 26. So if you are a believer in that, then I suppose you could wait until $23,000 Bitcoin to try to buy the dip. If Bitcoin actually will dip, and will you be able to catch that dip is the question. You can see right now we had a massive rally from the dip to where we are right now. We're all the way back up another 11% just from that dip. Now, according to Angelo BTC, he does say you are either on the right side of history or the short. Nice pun right there. 38K Bitcoin is his target. How did he get this? What is he using? Well, don't worry, guys. He is a magical internet wolf. And yeah, you're just going to have to trust him on this one. So 38K Bitcoin target. Well, you can see right now we have been held down by this previous resistance, flip support, flip back into resistance. We do have more resistance currently than we do support on the short term. So we do have this descending trend, and it does look like we are being held up by the top of the rising wedge. You can see right here outlined in blue. We kind of did hang around there, so it is possible that Bitcoin may come back down and even retest that $29,000 level again. But the level that we are looking at now is 32,790, and that is represented right here by this yellow line. The reason being is that did act as the resistance, then flip the ultimate support. We did put in the descending triangle, and we fell. So if we are to continue on our upwards trajectory, I would be looking for the breakout after $32,786. If we can't, then we may potentially reconsolidate sideways, maybe even for the rest of the week. But let's just talk about how Bitcoin is nothing like it used to be. Like Scott Melker says, Bitcoin spent the majority of last year trading around the $6,000 level, right? it just dropped 6,000 in a matter of hours and bounced. We have come a long way. Stack these sats gradually, then suddenly. That's always what I remember. But we did have a massive liquidation in longs, which is unfortunate because now is the time to be bullish. But you did have $190 million that were liquidated on just Binance alone within 10 minutes of this insane trade. This is the largest value to date. And what does this tell me? Well, listen, guys, I'm all for longing Bitcoin, but you need to do it safely. You need to do it responsibly, right? Do not over leverage yourself. Make sure that you use your look, you have to have a plan, right? You have to have a stop loss put into place, right? Because you need to do this or else you can get liquidated. And also, people are clearly using too high of leverage. So if you are new and you don't understand how this works, you can check my Bybit tutorial that I did post last week. We talk about how to trade profitably and, most importantly, responsibly, and how to use these tools to help increase your Bitcoin earnings and not get liquidated like, all these guys over here. So do be careful with that, guys, moving forward. But what I want to talk about is what you're seeing right now. You're seeing some of the retail come in. You're seeing that fear, FUD, FOMO, right? At the top, I'm buying. The dip, it's over. But this is what Bitcoin does. This is what all successful bull markets look like. You have your peaks and your little dips and your peaks and your dips. But once again, like I've been saying for well over a year now, the trend is your friend until the end. And this trend, in my opinion, is nowhere near the top. We are not stopping at 34K, 40K, 50K Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just getting started. After quadrupling last year, Bitcoin has gained about just 7% in the beginning of the month. That is insane. That's nearly half the gains that the Standard & Poor's S&Ps, well, I've never actually read it out like that. The S&P's index mustered over the entire 2020. Now, let's talk about Jim Bianco. So, he's a well-known Wall Street veteran. He does head Bianco Research, and he said that Bitcoin makes Tesla look like it's standing still. Just a month ago, when Bitcoin was changing hands at around $19,000, Kraken Intelligence was essentially saying that they were looking for an average price of Bitcoin for $36,600 in 2021. We're only $3,000, $4,000 away from that right now. So have we gone up too quick, too fast? Is this not sustainable? Are we actually due for a healthy correction or even a mid to short-term crash, right? That is the question that people are asking. But you know what they're asking even more so than that? They're talking about altcoins. They're asking the question, maybe Bitcoin and Ethereum are outdated. Bitcoin is like MS-DOS, Ethereum's like Microsoft Windows. Maybe there's other coins out there. Maybe we should be getting into these altcoins, right? I mean, you've even seen Angela White, adult star Angela White tweeting about Doge. We saw Doge leading the way, followed by Ethereum. Well, I will give you my opinion right now on whether or not I do believe that this is actually the alt season that we've been waiting for. Now, while Bitcoin did actually have some resistance here at this very important blue box territory, you could see this area was resistance for Bitcoin. We did hit this area right here. There was some turmoil back in 2017. We had a wick just below it here. We topped out again in August of last year, and then we just pulled back again. Now, I do believe that if we have a look at this, this is in fact an ascending triangle for Bitcoin. I would say that this is looking more like a Bitcoin breakout to the upside than to the downside for Bitcoin dominance. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you can see that we actually did have a bounce right off here, off this critical support level that we had back in October of last year. So are we into alt season just yet? I'm not fully convinced. It could be a time to accumulate altcoins that you think are going to perform quite well. That I won't deny. You could be accumulating altcoins right now, but are we headed into full-blown 100% altcoin season? I don't think so. Not just yet. I'm not fully convinced. I am still sitting primarily in Bitcoin right now. I do have some altcoin positions. You guys know one of them being Polkadot for sure. And, a lot of people are saying, I talk a lot about Polkadot. What about Ethereum? Well, guys, I don't know if you used Ethereum yesterday while it was pumping, but people were literally talking about $80 fees, $100 fees, and that's just to send. If you forget it, if you're doing swaps, especially with lower liquidity tokens over on Uniswap, it literally wasn't even possible. Okay, so I'm all for Ethereum. I love Ethereum, but Ethereum needs to figure out this gas crisis, because if they don't, then we are going to continue to see people move to other alternatives, potentially like Polkadot, potentially like Elrond, which is doing phenomenal, which I told you guys about like a while ago. I told you I thought Elrond was one of my top picks, and yeah, I heard he can afford to send transactions on Ethereum, right? But that's my opinion on the Altseason thing. Should you be loading up? That's up to you, right? But I don't think we're at Altseason yet. Me personally, I don't like to guess, okay? I like to hop in once we have the trend. We don't have an Altseason trend just yet. Yeah, we saw Doge pump. Yeah, we saw Ethereum pump, but we're not seeing all of the altcoins just 10xing, 50xing, like we were during the DeFi craze, right? With the yams, potatoes, and carrots and all that. When we get there, I will let you know, guys. There are projects I'm looking at. I will drop some altcoins here that I think have potential, but right now, the world is focused on Bitcoin. And when we talk about the road to a $500,000, a $1 million, a $5 million Bitcoin, it is not just the Michael Saylors and the Square Cash Apps and the Drunken Millers. No. Look at this story, and this is something that caught my eye. You have Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, who is exploring putting a percentage of Miami's treasury reserves into Bitcoin. Miami is currently working on accepting the cryptocurrency as a means of payment for city services and taxes. The mayor believes that Bitcoin has been a stable investment during an incredibly unstable year. The mayor of Miami has also been discussing being able to use Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to pay property taxes and city fees. Now, I do believe that would be an amazing, opportunity, especially the credibility of things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. If, now you're in Miami, you could pay your bills in cryptocurrency. How cool is that? But what's even bigger than that, what could be a trend that could explode, and it could be starting with this very story right here. What if we do actually see the mayor of Miami put their treasury reserves into Bitcoin, right? Just like we saw Michael Saylor. He kind of started that momentum. He created that avalanche when he put his company's reserves into Bitcoin. And then we started seeing the other companies, Mass Mutual and everyone else. So the question is, what happens if this does become a trend? What happens if we start to see multiple cities? And then what if we see states? And then what if it gets as big as to the federal layer, right? Where we have the United States, the federal treasury putting some Bitcoin on their balance sheets, the same way that they do with gold. And then it becomes a global phenomenon where now full countries are putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets as their reserve. You guys think that a 500,000 Bitcoin is crazy? You think that a $1 million Bitcoin is crazy when you consider the amount of endless fiat printing and the fact that people are looking for a better store of value than what is available right now, coupled with the fact that we could be seeing cities, states, countries, the world turning to Bitcoin as a potential reserve? You really got to sit and ask yourself, is $1 million actually out of the question? Is a $5 million Bitcoin actually out of the question? Considering these as potential catalysts, I would say no. It is absolutely not out of the question. And also, shout out to this person who did this when moon. This is actually funny. So they calculated the distance of the Earth to the moon, and then they translated it into dollars and said that basically Bitcoin has to hit $238,855 to go to the moon. So how close are we to the moon? Well, we need another $208,000 Bitcoin. So just a funny little website. I did have a story about Mike Novogratz. I think I accidentally X'd out of it before I started, but essentially he was just, once again, just talking about how bullish he was with Bitcoin, saying that he's seeing a lot of these other investors going into it. And the one thing that he did say was that, his friend said, well, how late am I to the party? And he said, right now you're basically on first base of the first inning of a game of baseball. So that's how early he says we are, okay? So I forgot to put that story in, but that was that for today. We also do have to give away a Ledger Nano S, so I will take the last 7 videos that we had right here. So let's do that out of 7. We will generate. Also, remember, there are lots of scams in the comments below, guys, so please just either go to the official About Me section or go to the Telegram group, which is absolutely free. Links below in the description if you want to check that out. Also, like I said, guys, I'll tell you in a second. Let's see who the winner is here. Let's see who the winner is here. So This website is going incredibly slow today. I guess there's lots of YouTube giveaways happening potentially right now. Could be. 500 comments and 586 comments. All right, let's see who gets the ledger today. We have Johnny D. He says, maybe. I don't know what this is in reference to. Is this in reference to the title? Bitcoin 500 billion market cap. Danger ahead, watch before Monday. Oh, that was when we were talking about the CME gaps, right? Wow, actually, come to think about it, we did fill that gap. So, hey, there you go. The gap was filled. Although, was it just a coincidence? The world may never know. But that being said, you are the winner, Johnny D. I like John. You ever go to Johnny D's? Do you guys have a Johnny D's by you? Or is that just a local thing? I don't know. It's like this diner. Anyway, yeah, place is pretty good. But you are the winner, Johnny D. Hit me up below. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Also, don't forget, if you guys do want to check out the Bybit tutorial that I do have, there is a $200 bonus. The $100 bonus is in the rewards hub, and the extra $100 is exclusive to the CryptoZombie channel, and that offer will expire in a few days. I think in about a week. January 11th that expires. So just letting you guys know, keeping you in the loop. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. Except for I was literally traveling. I couldn't do it. I didn't even have internet service. So that's it for me. Thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. This is CryptoZombie. Get subscribed if you haven't. If you like cryptocurrency updates and news and, fun shenanigans and stuff like that. And that is it for me. So until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.